Crowder. Now you know. Make sure you tell everybody what happened because they're having shows. I'm assuming they're going to be putting them up on Rumble. Rumble.com/C/Steven Crowder. And welcome to midterms, everybody. We knew this was going to get crazy. Who did we have on who just told us it was going to get really crazy? Was it Naomi Wolf?
Yeah, possibly.
I think it was Naomi. She was like, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah,
that was a good episode, too.
It's going to get crazy. Yeah, you think they're suspending Crowder? They're gonna do everything they can to try and diminish the voice of those who oppose the establishment. They don't like that Liz Cheney lost. They're going after Alex Jones. They're trying to indict Donald Trump. They just took Crowder down for 2 weeks off YouTube. That matters. You know why? You know what? Just real quick. You know why YouTube matters? 95% of Gen Z says they use YouTube. It is the dominant platform for the younger generation.
That's right.
This is where people need to be reaching. The younger generation being forced onto Rumble. Rumble's great. I like Rumble, but it's not where the younger generation is.
Yeah, this is what Jordan Peterson was saying years ago when he was asked why he was going on YouTube and doing videos instead of writing articles or something. And he was like, I wanted to reach the most people, so that's why I went on YouTube. Do you think they're going to indict Trump?
I think they are absolutely.
They really absolutely
going to. They are going to.
They have to now, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Washington, D.C., there is no justice in Washington, D.C. The D.C. justice system has been co-opted so much by the left that I do not doubt for one freaking second that Merrick Garland is going to find a corrupt grand jury in D.C. that is going to unseal corrupt indictments on Donald Trump for crimes that he never committed. I absolutely believe that 100% because they want to stop him. They've seen the polls showing that he is beating Joe Biden in 2024, and they want to stop him, and this is the way that they're going to do it. But it's not going to work out. I don't think it's going to work.
What are they going to indict him on?
They're going to find something.
I thought they weren't going to do it because it's a step over the line. They would just dangle it in front of everybody like, oh, we did a search warrant. That proves he's a criminal. That's what they're saying. And they wouldn't cross that line. But now what people are saying, and I'm starting to agree, because I'm not entirely sure, is that the move against Trump was so egregious they have no choice but to lean into it. Otherwise, it just looks political. So they have to come up with something to justify why they did.
They have spent 6 years searching for a crime.
Yes.
In every other...
And trying to fabricate some.
Well, they
fabricated evidence to justify spying on Trump, and Kevin Kleinsmith, I believe his name is, received a 1-year probation sentence for doing so.
And not only that, but he got his he now has his law license back by the D.C. bar in good standing.
That's crazy.
And then there's the other FBI lawyer, the guy who just got acquitted. What the heck's his name? He altered evidence in an email he was another guy who altered evidence to justify spying, and he just got acquitted for it. He even though it was his crime was in writing, and a DC jury that consisted of 2 Hillary Clinton donors and a woman whose daughter went to school with his daughter voted to acquit him. The guy's name escapes. Or Michael Sussman.
That's right.
Sussman.
That's right.
But that's how justice works in D.C. If you lie in FISA warrants to justify illegal spying on your political opponents, you'll get acquitted by a jury of your donors. If you're Steve Bannon and you get held in contempt by an illegitimate congressional committee, they will put you in jail. That's how justice works in D.C., and that's why I absolutely think they're going to indict Trump.
And then what happens? I mean, we've already had so much crazy stuff happen in the past week or so with just the outrage. I mean, the guy in Ohio, for instance, a Cincinnati FBI office. What happens?
Didn't he go in with a nail gun? Wasn't it a nail
Because
gun?
people think that nail guns can get through bulletproof or something like that. It's
that's not a thing.
One of the things that happens is people turn on TV, find out what's going on, and they find shows like this. So it's up to us in a lot of ways. People are kind of
they turn on YouTube.
Changing the tone of the narrative, and tone is big right now.
That's why everyone's coming down.
I don't know what will happen, but what I do know is I think it's going to light an effing fire under the GOP base.
Yeah,
that's absolutely what it's going to do.
I saw a meme that showed a ship that said MAGA on it sinking, and a bunch of rats wearing MAGA hats were like panicked and swimming away from it.
I don't think that's how it's going to go.
And then I responded with the poll showing that his polling's improved since the FBI raid. And then they were all just like, all the lefties got depressed. Like, no, really? It's like, bro, you guys have no idea what's going on, do you? Like,
well, they haven't had any idea.
Supporters are not going to walk away from Trump just because the FBI is going after him. They're going to rally behind him.
Right, and they haven't had any idea what's going on since 2016. I mean, you remember 2016, the entire media was like, the Trump voter. Who is this Trump voter? Who are these people? And they still have not figured out who the Trump voters are or why people are so opposed to the going narrative and the current regime.
And and I'll say this: there's only one crime that Donald Trump has ever committed, only one, and that's beating Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
that was a crime. He was never supposed to do that, and they have never been able to come to terms with that. And so that is his only crime. That's the crime that they want to take him down for, and they're trying to do it.
I was watching a documentary on the Nazis last night, and basically after the First World War, the Treaty of Versailles annihilated Germany, took all this territory, put them in massive amounts of debt, so they felt hopeless. And when people feel hopeless, they look for a leader, a strong leader to help get them out of the trouble. When you look at the way people have been persecuted the last 2 years and been driven insane with COVID stuff, I think that people are like I'm afraid that people may snag onto a strong man that gives them hope, gives them a political, I don't want to see another Hitler rise to power. They've been like afraid of Trump and saying like, he's Hitler. Like, don't turn him into Hitler. Don't do that to people. Don't destroy their hope and their will to live, because they will look for a strong man if you do. We just look at the past.
Bro, do you see that video? This woman from Fox posted it, where she's like, this is what it's like when you get to work at 3 a.m.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I didn't see this.
Just people fighting in the streets all over the place.
It's New York City, and it's people just beating the hell out of each other in the street out the window of Fox.
It's not one fight. It's like a bunch of fights all over the place.
It's a bunch of people freaking out on each other. I found that terrifying.
Yeah.
In part because, February 2019 or February 2020, before the pandemic, before everything went crazy, I was perfectly happy to walk around New York City at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nothing like that was ever happening. You never saw that.
Well, now it's normal. Now you have open air drug markets and homeless cities.
Well, like, screw Eric Adams. Like, he ran on cleaning this crap up.
That's
why he won.
That's why he won.
Yeah, that is literally why he won. And instead, he's focused on he's focused on going to Texas to campaign against Greg Abbott because
he put up billboards in Florida about like how gay people are welcome in New York, as if anybody in the world didn't know that.
Anybody who still lives in New York, I mean, you just got to question.
I don't know how.
Oh my God.